Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is the big day. I get to take you out on a balcony garden tour and let you see what the garden looks like now that it's fully merged with my RHS Chelsea Flower Show garden. So let's get straight into it. First things first, before you guys shout at me, yes, I'm wearing my welly boots. Alright, let's get going. If you're an OG to the channel, you will know that I absolutely love my fish pond, and right now it is looking incredibly wild. It is being covered by these giant hollyhocks. I've been growing them for around about 2 years now. They've not flowered, but I can see a bud starting. And then the fish pond is next level wild. It's full of frog bits. They are multiplying like crazy. And the lily pads, they are fighting tooth and nail to get to the surface, so I can't wait to see them flower later on in summer. Just look at the lily pads and look at all of the frog bits. So I've got a plastic tube that kind of acts as a feeding hole, so right now these guys know that it's feeding time, but just to remind them, I give it a little tap. There you go, so they know they're about to get fed. Just grab some food. Now I also use the fish pond water to fertilize the garden. Plants absolutely thrive from fish waste and all those nitrates. Oh, there's Jaws, the blue one. Now these are a recent purchase. It's called duck potato, and this will probably get around about a meter tall or so, and then they will actually produce some mini potatoes, so I can't wait to see how that gets along. But just look at the shape of the leaves. There's also some water hawthorn in the fish pond. Now if you want to make your very own balcony pond, I'll leave a link below in the description box, because I've made a video and I'll show you how to make one step by step. I've got to say, my arches this year are arching. Last summer it was a bit diabolical, but now I've included my roses from Chelsea, so I've got Hiawatha and I've also got some Chevy Chase. Now on this archway here, I've also got some 2 meter tall Tracheospurnum, and I've got to tell you, the scent from this white jasmine is just gorgeous. But a little bit further down on one of the second arches, I've also got some Clematis. Now I got these for £2 from B&Q, and it was one of my red sticker bargains. It died back, but just look at it now. You guys remember my grapevine? Well, look at it now. It is just going crazy, and it is now fighting with the rose. This is my Hiawatha. All of the buds have gone now, unfortunately, but there's such nice detail here in the buds. I don't even want to cut them, but I'm gonna have to. Anyway, I digress. So the grapevines are now fighting their way with the Hiawatha, but it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and making more and more vines down the bottom. Now this side of the garden is pretty cool. So this is one of my red cabbages, but growing up the trellis, I've got these beans, so they're producing some here. I've just harvested some, actually. I mean, look how big those are. And I've replaced one plant with these nasturtiums, which will of course grow up. And what I didn't realise is I've got these busy lizzies here. Now this one's growing up this pole, and there's a second one, and it is just taken off over here. So question is, do I move that over into here and replace these beans once they're done, or do you reckon I should just leave it? Let me know in the comments. The black-eyed Susans and the nasturtiums are going to look great going up the trellis, but this is actually a kiwi vine, and on my other trellis I have passion fruits. Surprisingly, way more of the garden survived during my 3 weeks away at Chelsea than I originally thought. That made combining the garden very, very difficult and a lot of work. You know me guys, I don't just like to have floral elements to my garden, I love to have edibles too. And let me show you one of my amazing tips for herbs. So come with me down to the end of the garden and I'll show you what I've got. Now let me show you one of my favourite parts of the garden. It so happens to be my herb tower. Now on this herb tower I've got sage, tricoloured sage, oregano, Korean basil, thyme, and also a variegated mint as well. Now the great thing about this container is it's a stackable vertical container, so I've got around about, I don't know, 15-16 different herbs all in one tiny space. And you know guys, I've got you sorted. I'm going to leave a link in the description box so that you can get your own, because it's only from Amazon and it's £50. There are 6 layers here, 3 components in each layer, and it has an internal irrigation system. Winner. I don't just have herbs. In one of the containers behind me, I've got a whole ton of lettuce, strawberries, and I've even got some chard as well. I've learned from previous mistakes. I've made sure that all my strawberries are hanging off the side of their containers. That way they don't get any mold lying on the surface of the soil. Unfortunately, I didn't catch this broccoli in time, but I can't wait to see the flowers, and I'm going to harvest the leaves and add them to my salads. Now down the bottom here I've got one of my favourite containers. In fact, I think it's my favourite of my pots, and this one houses this beautiful mega caramel heuchera, and it's just enormous. Now this was one of my star attractions at the RHS Chelsea Flower Show, and it looks really expensive, but I got it from my mum's local nursery. It's called Barnes Nursery down in Wallington near Croydon, and I think it was something like £5 or something like that, but over time it's just got absolutely massive. A month ago this Acer was just a couple of twigs. Now it has finally come back to life. As you can see from my RHS Chelsea Flower Show garden, the Cirrus garden, I absolutely love having colour in the garden. It was really important for me to bring the garden back home and show that this actually can be a working practical garden that anyone can do. The vast majority of these plants are not expensive. With my window boxes I have implemented the same techniques that I used in Chelsea on these same window boxes. Now, they are not the fancy, beautiful, colourful ones that I got from Euro planters for the show garden. These are just my regular standard planters that I got from Elho. Again, I'm going to leave a link in the description box so that you can pick up these same planters. But they are still densely packed and we've still got tons of colour. One of my favourite plants are salvias. I just love that you can get so many different varieties. But the reason why I pick these is because they are super hardy and work really well in our spaces. The other reason that I have picked these flowers, for example, and my lovely petunias, is because my main pollinators are not butterflies. In fact, they're actually hoverflies. So I tend to pick flowers that have got really wide, easy access flowers for my pollinators to take care of. Both sets of my canna lilies are really struggling this year, but we've just now gone into some decent lights. They've started to do a little bit better. And this is one of my cosmos. So I've got a pink one and I've also got a white one down the bottom underneath the hollyhocks. These guys are growing a lot slower, probably due to the hollyhocks covering everything. But here I've started to incorporate more plants into the pot, and it's one thing that we don't tend to do as balcony gardens. We just tend to stick to having one thing in our containers, but look, we can have more. So I've got some beautiful petunias. These guys are getting a little bit worse for wear. I need to do some pruning here. You know me, I keep it real. And I've got some violas, I think, down the side here as well. And I've got to say, as amazing as it is to have such a beautiful garden, I've said it before, but sometimes not everything goes to plan. Let me take you down to the end of the garden and show you a little bit more. Okay, you know me, I've got to keep it real. There are parts of this garden that are just simply not working. One of them is the greenhouse, and let me tell you, everything in there has been scorched to death. So I'm going to have to empty that out at some point, so that's going to be another video. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it there or if I'm going to put a table there or an egg chair. I don't know. If you've got any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Not all of my window boxes are doing great. Just look at this. This unrealistic planting has led to quite a bit of stress on the plants, especially because these guys are so exposed to the sun. So I'm going to do a bit of pruning back in a later video, and maybe I'll rearrange this container and let you see what that looks like once I've kind of dialed it back a bit. Whilst I was emulating my show garden planting style, it's important to note that actually plants need room and space to grow. Anyway, lesson learned. You know me, guys, I leave all of my weeds here. I just leave them, let them be. But I've also got some broccoli here. Again, I didn't catch this broccoli in time. It's going to flower, but I'm going to leave it. And I've also got a couple of tomato plants as well, which seem to be doing an awesome job. It's not all doom and gloom. I've got some more broccoli down this side of the garden, and just look at this. Now this is a Ligularia, an Anne-Marie Britt Crawford, and it is just doing fantastically well. I'm going to leave a link to my planting list below in the description box, just in case you would like to try some of these plants for yourself. If there's a part of the garden that you want to see more of, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye! You guys, don't forget to add me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Cloud Gardener UK. And let me know what you want to see from me next. Houseplants, shopping, whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. Hopefully see you again soon. Bye!